Hi everybody, it's Coach D here with your daily dose of PE. Today we are going to talk about heart rate. What is your heart rate? What does that mean? That's right, your heart rate is the number of times your heart fills with and pumps out blood each minute. When do you think your heart rate is the lowest? That's right, your heart rate is the lowest when you're sleeping. So the next time you take a nap, or if you can remember when you wake up in the morning, check your heart rate to see what it is. Now, how do we calculate our max heart rate? So the highest our heart rate can go. If you said take the number 220 and subtract it from your age, you would be correct. So why don't you take the next 15 seconds and do a little subtraction. Take the number 220 and minus or subtract that from your age. Awesome. So hopefully you got a number, and that number is your max heart rate. So when you're exercising, that is the highest your heart rate should be going. Any higher and we might start to have problems, or we might start to feel sick. Excellent. Now let's talk about where do we find our heart rates on our bodies? How do we figure that out? There are two basic ways that we can take our heart rates. The first way is on our wrists. Do you know where your wrists are? Good job. You are going to take your index finger and your middle finger and make sure they're together. You are going to find the side of your wrist and you're going to apply some pressure until you can feel your pulse. So you should feel a little bump, a little thumping against your fingers. You might have to move it around until you can find that pulse. And once you find it in your wrist, you're going to hold it and you're going to count to 10 seconds. So you're going to count every time you feel that pulse. If you are having trouble finding your pulse and heart rate on your wrist, you can also use the side of your neck. So once again, you take your index finger and your middle finger, put them together. You're going to come at your ear and drop slightly down underneath your neck, pressing lightly against your neck until you find that thumping, that bumping against your fingers. That is our pulse. And make sure you're still, and when you're ready, take the next 10 seconds and count how many times you feel your pulse. And stop. Whatever number you just counted to, multiply that by 6, and that will tell you what your average heart rate is, or your beats per minute. So for example, I just counted 10 beats. So I would multiply 10 times 6, which is what? Excellent, it's 60. So right now, my heart rate is 60 beats per minute. So when we're taking our heart rates, I said we use our index finger and our middle finger. Why don't we use our thumbs when we're checking for our pulse and our heart rate? That's right. Did you know that your thumbs actually have a pulse of their own? So if you go to measure your pulse with your thumb, you're actually going to be feeling the pulse that's in there. So that's why we use our index finger and our middle finger when taking our pulse. Great job today. And I challenge all of you while you're doing your workouts this week, if you're riding your bike, if you're swimming in a pool, if you're playing soccer, Take 10 seconds and stop and see what your heart rate is. And try testing out at different times during the day what your heart rate is. What's your heart rate in the morning? What's your heart rate around lunchtime? In the evening, when you're running, when you're walking? Experiment. I can't wait to hear what you think. Until next time, bye.